Hi, this is Earth Angel Ascension. Hope everybody's having a good week. We got a little bit of snow here, so um, it's been okay, but the weather's I'm not really looking forward to the winter, but it's officially here. So today's topic is going to be on interdimensional shifting and how it affects us as targeted individuals. So let me just start out by saying that I've experienced this since birth, 1,000,000% since birth. And I'm going to go over how this works and why it's there and how it affects you as a targeted individual. So let me go back to like a little bit. As I said in a previous video, my best friend growing up, his name was Andrew. And I will say this: 2 days in a row, maybe 3 days, he could be my best friend. And then the fourth day, he would just be nasty to me for without any change in my character. It was like he didn't know me. And it was just as if somebody else was there and not him. And I would run home to my mom and say, "Hey, Andrew doesn't never wants to talk to me again, hates my guts, or said this to me, or said that to me." And basically, it threw me for a loop because this was going back like I was 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old when I first started hanging out with him. And it continued on even in our friendship as I got older. It was the same way. It was like as if he could be my friend for a couple days in a row, and then something would jump into him and he couldn't be my friend anymore. So if you're a targeted individual, there's a good chance that, there's an anointing on your life, or a calling you're chosen, however you want to put that, but you're just not like everybody else. You have this light on you and people can see it. But you have to see this gang stalking that we're encountering right now as the same thing as what I dealt with growing up with Andrew. Your relation. This is how they strain your relationships too, because most of the time you might be talking to this person, but then all of a sudden these things that have been monitoring us, and you're going to ask, what are these things? Demons, um, low level, like low vibrational entities jump into these people, and they just kind of put a whisper into the person's ear that, maybe you're close to, maybe it's your mom, maybe it's your girlfriend, and then they shift the person because the person doesn't realize it's not their own thoughts. It's coming from like an external low, like I said, low vibrational entities or demons or fallen angels that have been monitoring us since birth. And this is how they keep us isolated, I believe, because today they can talk to us, but tomorrow they're not allowed to. So this has been going on, for my whole life. And I did speak to somebody else, and she's targeted as well. And she said she called it monitoring spirits. Um, and she said they're assigned to people like that have high callings on their life because since birth they knew who was coming, because at one time these beings like fallen angels had access to Father's files in heaven because they were in heaven at that time. So they knew which ones were coming because they had access to the books. So if you are going through this and you're going through this isolation, and this is one of the reasons why, you can maybe make a friend today and then tomorrow they're a different person, which is almost a little scary to most people that are going through this because they don't understand it. It makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. Because me as a person, the same person I am today is the same person I'm going to be tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day, unless somebody shows me some sort of abusive behavior, that they go out of their way to do something that makes it. But then at that point I will call them and say or call them out on it and say, this is not acceptable. Why did you do this? But these people will hate us without cause. Jesus said it best: if they hated me, they shall hate you as well. The creature can't be better than the creator. Although in Christian churches they don't teach these sort of things, because they kind of make the Bible like as if the Father's word is a far off thing, as if it doesn't exist for right now. If they hated me, so shall they hate you. Be not conformed to the world. If the world hates you, remember it hated me first. So these are some of the reasons why, you go through this stuff as a targeted person, because you have an anointing on your life. And like I said, a lot of it's hyperdimensional. Like, it's not the actual person that's coming against you. It's the stuff jumping in this person that's monitoring us here, because they know we're here on a high purpose. And most of us here are here to free the captives. And they don't want that to happen because everybody is supposed to, go down to hell with them. And while we're here, we're a threat to their, purpose of enslavement here. We're here to free everybody. They're here to enslave everybody. So we're their natural enemy. So, like I would say this, in these last days, you really have to stay prayed up. And there is no guarantee that today somebody's going to be your friend, that tomorrow they are, You can hope and you can pray, And I will say this, if you do have one person in your life that you can call up today and they're going to be the same person tomorrow, you have a richness here, But there is no guarantee if you're targeted that you will have that. Most of the time, most targeted individuals, are isolated because, Father chose them out of the world. That's why. So if you're in the world, and you're congratulated by the world, usually, it's because you don't have a calling over your life, like an intense calling. I'll say this, maybe other people do have a calling, but it's not to that degree. So I'll say this also. There's something else I want to go over today. On another video I made up about the staring. This is another reason why they stare at you. They see this intense light beaming off of you, and it's like they can't figure out what it is. And the Bible also says that in the darkness could not comprehendeth the light. So this is why you get the stares as well. It's also, like I said in another video, it's an energy grab, so if they can hook your attention, they can hook your energy. I just got done reading a little bit of a book. It was all about gangstalking, and it was called Servants of the Master Builders. And they said when they start this, this monitoring, say somebody comes up or comes around and just starts staring you down, it's as if a portal opens up around that person, and the whole key of it is to catch your attention, because then they can lower your vibration. And targeted individuals, I'm here to say, you're targeted because you have a lot of power on you, and these beings want to feed off of you, and that's what this is about. So they open up this portal, and you'll see the person just kind of look like as if they're like are going to attack you, and you feel it. So right away you start focusing on that, and your energy goes to that portal that opens up. And this is what happens to you when you become awakened from this realm. And they're trying to keep you, you have a spirit in the flesh. So they're trying to keep you in that flesh suit, hooked into this illusion, as the book said, of this is who I am. And this is not who you are. Who you are is that spirit inside you, and they want you to stay in the fleshiness, so you get triggered by this and you want to fight them. So if you do notice them starting to stare you down, just pay no attention. Just look away. Turn your body. Don't give them access to right here, because they want to hook into this, your solar plexus, and pull energy out of you, because they open, this Servants of the Master Builder said, is they open up these portals, and these beings are just using these people as vessels to siphon our energy, to get a reaction out of us, to make us feel bad, to take our peace away. So this is another thing that you're going to go notice. I know, I was renting a car on Uber, and every time I went to recharge the car, someone would just come up in front of my car and just start staring at me from their car, turn their head to actually stare inside my car. And this is just how intense this is. It's not acceptable. It's just craziness, I would never be focused on other people. My focus is on my purpose in life. This is why we're here, and when you have to go around your life worrying about other people, are you really free? That's what I have to ask you, so who is really free here? The targeted individuals that don't answer to anybody, or these people that are just willing vessels for this system, So you have the answer right there. You're free, and this is what this program is about, is when you start to ascend and you start to wake up from this flesh suit and realize who you really are, like a spiritual being that belongs to the Lord. You don't care about money. You don't care about hooking up with girls or having sex or masturbating or smoking marijuana or getting drunk. This system starts to come against you, because you're you're a threat to the consciousness. you're supposed to stay asleep, and they want you to sleep because that way, if you're asleep, then you don't spread the message to other people that can become free. And these things that are consuming you, that they want you to consume with, are stuff that takes you away from your spiritual growth. So anybody that starts to raise up, it's like I said in other videos, it's like crabs in a bucket. They want to throw you back down in that bucket. They don't want anybody to ascend. They, like I said, at nighttime, they have like 200 satellites, airplanes, drones above me. And this is how serious this is. I'm not a threat to anybody. I've never been in trouble a day in my life, other than like when I was younger for stuff with DMV. And also, I think even that was part of this program. It was like every time I drove when I was younger, it was like I was pulled over. It was like wild. But, they control these people, like this. They put thoughts in people's minds about you. This is how they isolate you as well, like I said. I've dealt with this stuff pretty much, like I said, since day one. So I'm used to it to some degree. And I'm making this video. So it's called Servants of the Master Builders. It's a book on gangstalking. And I did read parts of it, and I'm going to finish reading it. But basically they said when these people start to do these skits of like street theater around you, basically they're just opening up these beings are just opening up portals to steal your energy. So they're doing this stuff, and these people are like not even aware of what they're doing. Not 100%. They're willing vessels to some degree. To some degree they know what they're doing, but not to a full degree. So that's about it for today. I hope everybody is like understanding what this really is. If you're targeted, it's one part. The government does have involvement in it, but you have to understand why the government is involved in this. It's because these people in high places are getting these these thoughts from these demons to watch you, to monitor you, to surveil you, to target you, to make your life a nightmare. It's like it's wild. I can't even take a walk without them like trying to dive a car at me, high beam me. I thought it was just in cars when I'm driving, but they do it even while I'm walking. It's wild. It never stops. This is the price for when you really start to wake up. And Jesus, I also believe, Jesus, this is why he said, just take me out. I'll take it all on, because this is not worth it. He saw through the smoke screen. And when you start to see through the smoke screen and realize this is like a hell realm, what holds weight here is this predominant evil force here, and they want everybody part of it. The flesh, the money, all the stuff that doesn't matter, that separates you from your spiritual, authority and your spiritual truth, and that's what they don't want to get out there, is who you really are. Who you are is not how much money you have, what job you have. That's all stuff that's tied to that flesh suit, and none of that stuff matters. It's that spirit inside you, and I've noticed, somebody said to me, well, you have like no viewers or you have no subscribers on your channel. I said, well, that's because I'm speaking the truth. If you're still part of this world system, you're going to have everybody love you. Everybody will love you. But as soon as you start to speak the truth, you're going to be hated. Tupac said it best. The realest, most truthful people have the fewest friends, he said. And he claimed to be targeted as well. And, he was like a visionary. Some of the stuff that he said was absolutely correct and true. He was an empath. He said that. I did watch a video many years ago where someone was speaking to him, and they said that, he claimed to be an empath. And I believe that, and empaths are targeted because we can see through it, and we know the heart condition, and we might mess up and do things wrong at some points in our life because our programming was wrong, but our hearts are true. That's one thing I will say as an empath. I don't have a devious heart. I'm not a manipulator. I'm not a toxic person. I have plenty of life in me. I extend, I have enough strength to reach out to people, and I will say this as empaths, we rarely get that back in a partner where, we put in this much, unless we date another person that's like spiritually awakened and sees like past the game. And the game is that one of us is supposed to be with one of them. And that's so that we donate our energy to this system. And that's why they have teamed like a plus and a minus up together. That's why. But if both people have ascended and understand this system and realize that you don't get anything from a minus, you can only draw something from two pluses. A plus and a minus don't balance each other out. A plus and a plus do. But I think I'm going to end on this right here, and we'll just I'll do another video tomorrow. But this is gonna, be a quick sum up of this interdimensional shifting. If they start to open these portals around you, like this book says, just don't pay any attention. The biggest thing is they want to catch your attention so they can feed off of you and lower your vibration and put you back into the flesh suit, and put you back into the flesh and separate you from your peace. So it's always been a battle between the flesh and the spirit, and you decide, and how you decide is you start making the right choices. Like I said in previous videos, you abstain from stuff of this world, because of the stuff of this world might give you like temporary pleasure, but it causes you a whole lot of pain as well. And people that are still congratulating titles and money, those people are still hooked into that world system. As I said in previous videos, I do drive Uber. But for me, it's do I care about money? No, just for survival. That's it. Just so I can pay my bills and, have food in my stomach and a roof over my head. I'm not obsessed with money, and I don't care about titles. I'd rather be a meek servant here instead of have these worldly titles that mean nothing, because my title is not in this realm. It's in the next realm. Until next time, I love you. Stay prayed up. Separate. If there are people that are toxic in your life, you have to separate, because as long as you're allowing them in your life, you can't make, like I said it before, if you have a clear glass with no poison in it and you put poison in it, that water is no longer swallowable. You're not gonna have, and it's also telling the universe that this is acceptable. If you allow narcissists in, I had one girl reach out to me and she said, this guy, even though he's a narcissist, he's my she said she called him her twin flame. He's not your twin flame. He never will be, because like I said, a plus and a minus do not equal out. So until you realize what this is, like how the game is involved, it's all about taking your energy. And somebody that has nothing to give can't fill you back up. And you need to, if you're a person that does have energy, you deserve somebody that has it as well. You don't put $100 in a bank, and when you go to withdraw it, there be a minus 200. That just does not even out. And you have to make hard choices, and hard choices are painful, but that's the only way you raise up and grow. Until next time, I love you. God bless you.